here, and if there were a fireplace, it would be just like home. Standing here, perform. So my name is Catye Palomino, and it is good to be performing for people drinking tea. Maybe I'm not as funny with tea drinkers, but a couple of weeks ago I was invited to perform at a winery. And I don't really know much about wine, so I tried to fake my way through that, connecting with the audience. And I wrote a few jokes to try to get them warmed up, but honestly, none of those jokes really turned out all that great. So, I mean, I'm not an idiot. I know some things about wine. I know, like, there's different kinds, right? Like Cabernet and Riesling and boxed. I have actually been to wine country. I'm not a drinker at all. I don't drink. I mean, I like drink water and stuff, but I don't drink alcohol. But I did go to wine country with some friends a few years ago, and I bellied right up to the bar with everybody, tried to see what paired best with what, and realized after that trip that I actually pair best with a mini Snickers and a Dr. Pepper. I don't know why it took me the trip out there to realize that. But no, it's always interesting to me as a non-drinker, especially a non-wine drinker, to listen to people who are wine drinkers to try a glass of wine for the first time and tell you what it tastes like. It's bizarre listening to someone talk about the wine. It starts off first with a little vanilla, and then just a little bit of rose, and out of nowhere, it's old furniture. And then it ends with tree bark. Let me have some of that. I don't know much about wine, right? I'll just put a cork in it. So I am excited about my favorite season, which is, of course, election season. I love the election, and I love learning about politics. And I don't know, honestly, though, if there are more people running for the Republican Party nomination or more people who have been offended by Donald Trump. Either way, both make me proud to be an American. Very proud. Excited about the election coming up. You know what else I'm excited about? You guys heard that El Chapo was recently arrested. El Chapo, the drug lord, Mexican drug lord. It's a big deal because he escaped from prison and then we captured him again. But I will tell you, when he was talking to the police after he was arrested, in his statement, he very proudly proclaimed, I deliver more marijuana, more heroin, more meth, and more cocaine to anyone in the world than anyone else. To which Amazon replied, not without 2-day free shipping. It is good that he was arrested. I mean, that's a lot of drugs and stuff going around, but it is a bummer for people who are movie buffs that El Chapo was arrested. Who knows now when he's going to get to team up with his brothers and make more movies? You know, his brothers El Groucho and El Harpo. Pretty sure El Chapo is the opposite of those brothers, which is why that's funny. So something else that I appreciate is the newest thing on Netflix, right? How many of you have been watching Making a Murderer, right? Making a Murderer, a few people? Right. It's this new series documentary that's essentially about a guy who was wrongly accused and put in prison for 18 years for rape, only to be exonerated because of DNA. Only to find 2 months later that he was arrested for yet another crime that he may or may not have committed. So this has caught on like wildfire, right? People are obsessed with it. They're watching it obsessively. So much so that Hollywood has already decided, I read this in a magazine, that they are already taking that idea of murder and adding it to other reality shows for the next season. For example, they're reaching a bigger audience with a new show they're trying on TLC, Making Over a Murderer. Bigger group of people there. Another one that I'm excited about, of course, is So You Think You Can Murder? We're lining people up for Murdering with the Stars. My favorite one, of course, is America's Next Top Murderer. Excited about that. It's a trend, man. It's taken off. It's going everywhere. Justin Bieber, settle down, everyone. Justin Bieber recently was in Mexico, and he was actually asked to leave one of the national parks there. He was at the Mayan ruins in Tulum, Mexico. Did you guys hear about this? And he was asked to leave because he and his buddies were climbing all over the ruins. He was asked to leave, and the officials here at the park said that Mr. Bieber was very, very understanding and very cooperative. Once they explained to him that the ruins were not his, they were Mayan. That's when he understood. That's when he understood. You know, another ruin that's been in the news lately is the classic ruined playhouse, Playboy Mansion. The Playboy Mansion, you guys hear that this thing is for sale, right? $200 million for the Playboy Mansion. There is a little bit of a caveat to that. One, it's kind of a dump, so they're renovating it. This guy knows what I'm talking about. He's checking his phone to see if he's got the bid. Anyway, but that's not even the weird part. The weird part is that Hugh Hefner, who of course is the ultimate playboy, who's been living in the Playboy Mansion forever, is not going to move. He's going to continue living in the Playboy Mansion. So, if you buy the house for $200 million, you will have a permanent roommate in Hugh Hefner. But also 5 acres of beautiful Los Angeles and the STD of your choice. It's a bargain, really. It's a steal. I actually heard that they're going to put the Playboy Mansion on a special edition of House Hunters sex dens. Couple in Toronto looking for the perfect sex den. This is what I heard. You guys probably heard too that the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, she just celebrated her 34th birthday, right? It was exciting. The news in England said that they didn't go out that day. They stayed away from the public, and they actually celebrated with family, but later they took the kids into the city and took them to Sir Chuck E. Cheese. Right in Piccadilly Circus, right in the middle of the city. No, actually, Kate Middleton looks fantastic, right? I mean, 34 is not old by any means, but she looks good after having a couple of kids, and I'm convinced that it is not difficult for her to make Prince William Randy, right? You know, Randy is like horny in England, right? Which I always think is strange because, no offense, but most of the people I know named Randy make me the opposite of horny. The State of the Union was the other night, right? It's exciting stuff. I actually am not as concerned about the State of the Union as I am about the state of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Still alive! Office pool. No, they said that Obama's legacy, as he ends his presidency, is one of those legacies is that he's the most socially connected president we've ever had. He's very connected socially. Certainly social media helps that. But in my opinion, he is socially connected, but he'll never be as socially connected as our 16th president. Of course, you know who I'm talking about, Abraham Lincoln. Knows everybody. That guy. So I've got some exciting news to share with you. Since about April of 2015, I have lost about 75 pounds. For the record, I am not looking for it. So if you find it, it is yours. I did see a friend the other day that I hadn't seen in a long time, and he said to me, "Catye Palomino, you have lost a ton of weight." And I was like, not a ton, give or take. And then I realized that as an American, he says ton as in a lot, not ton as in the metric system. We don't know what that means. But then I started thinking about it, thinking, there are a few things in the metric system that Americans do know about. 2 liters of Mountain Dew, hello. And how many grams of cocaine I could buy, right? So if you've been purchasing those, you have been using the metric system. Well done. Well done. Good job. That's exciting stuff. So, way to go. I have to tell you that, as Audrey mentioned already, that as a comedian who performs for free in a free venue, you don't make as much money as you think. I'm not a drinker, so unlike her, I'm still at zero. Which is good. No, so I've been supplementing my income, trying to make a little extra money, and delivering pizzas, a gentleman's hired dancer, not a good idea. So I decided to trash all of those ideas and combine meeting all kinds of people into one extra career, and I have recently, since the summer, become an Uber driver. People always say, do you like driving for Uber? Yeah, I'm finally getting paid for something I've been doing well my whole life, which is talking to strangers. I'll leave you with this. I often experience Groundhog Day every time a new passenger gets in my car. It's the same 5 questions. All the time, the same questions, all the time. And these are the questions and my typical responses to those questions. Question number 5. Question number 5, how long have you been driving? And I'm like, since I was 16. I didn't know if that was different in other places. Number 4 question, I always get asked, do you have another job besides driving for Uber? And I like to get a feel for the passenger, make eye contact in the rearview mirror, and often I will say, I'm actually a drug dealer. 2 birds, 1 stone. And then there's awkward silence. Question number 3, has anybody thrown up in your car? I get asked that all the time. Yes, but not when I was an Uber driver, just in my own car. So you can get new friends on my list. Question number 2, you have any crazy stories? Oh, you got crazy stories. Like no one's asked me that before. Yeah, I do have a crazy story. This is what I usually tell. I picked up a guy one time who right away, immediately, as soon as he got in my car, was like, I have 2 DUIs, I don't have a license. And I was like, well done. Just driving you, dude. He was talking, going on, and it was taking him clear to the other side of town. And he asked me as we were driving, he interrupted himself, and he said, do you mind stopping at this liquor store up here? And I laughed out loud, and he didn't. I pulled into the liquor store. And when he didn't recognize the irony in what he was saying, I realized then and there that I indeed would see Governor Ronner again in my car. The number 1 question I always get asked, no matter what, gets old every time. Are you my Uber driver? Catye Palomino.